What's going on, guys? This is your favorite YouTuber, Policies. Welcome back to a brand new video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so to show your support, regardless if you love or hate me, because I love you all no matter what. I've been thinking about this election for a while now, and although I like Trump because he is funny and straightforward, I simply cannot force myself to vote for him. First of all, the man has no idea what he's doing ever, and in fact, I think he's even shocked he's made it to where he is now. Virtually all his policies have changed from punishing women who want abortions to kicking out every single legal immigrant, and even changed his ban on Muslims entering the country. And I haven't even started on all the terrible things he has said about different people in different countries. To me, Trump just doesn't understand government, world affairs, domestic policies, and geopolitics well enough to hold the most powerful position in the world. It would be much different if he was a senator or governor of New York for a few years, just to get a taste of the gridlock in Washington and how hard it is to wheel and deal with these politicians, because no matter what you say, no matter how much an insider somebody is, they still have to wheel and deal and work with the House and the Senate to pass legislation. And don't get me wrong, I'm aware of Clinton's problems, the email problem that has been going on for years. She might have made a mistake with Benghazi, which the evidence is looking like she has. And people have a huge problem trusting her. So after a long thought, looking at both of these super flawed candidates, I must come out and endorse Hillary Clinton. And I have composed 6 shocking reasons why I think you should vote for her also. Watch to the end of the video, as the last reason will blow your mind.
But until you've sat at that desk, you don't know what it's like to manage a global crisis or send young people to war. But Hillary's been in the room. She's been part of those decisions. She knows what's at stake in the decisions our government makes. What's at stake for the working family, for the senior citizen, for the small business owner.
This goes without saying that she is by far the most qualified person to ever run for president. And yes, I know that Obama said it, and many of you out there can't stand a word that he says. I understand that too. A lot of you guys are just haters. You hate his policies, maybe you hate him because he's black. I'm not too sure, but you just hate him. So let's just look at the facts of her qualifications. She was the Secretary of State for many years. She negotiated a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas as a Secretary of State, along with negotiating a key nuclear reduction deal. She also has 8 years as a First Lady, getting a rare opportunity to see how government works. And she even used that opportunity to fight for universal health care that she pushed for 2 damn years. She is the most progressive she pushed the most progressive healthcare bill in U.S. history, and she was also a senator for a long time before she fought for women and children. She's literally one of the strongest progressive we have ever had run for this office. Experience doesn't necessarily mean that someone has gotten stuff done and that that person is accomplished. But Hillary Clinton is accomplished, no matter what you say. She has fought for children and families for 40 years, starting after law school and working for the Children's Defense Fund. She's helped give millions and millions of kids health care. Her speech on women was amazing in China. Her role in killing Osama bin Laden, as Obama said, was legendary. And Hillary Clinton was the principal author of sanctions on Iran that brought them to the table. Her accomplishments are by far the most that we have seen when somebody has run for this office. I mean, what has Donald Trump done? What has really Gary Johnson done? What has Jill Stein done? What really have most of these candidates done, like Ted Cruz and them? Virtually nothing. Look at Rubio, nothing. But if you look at Hillary Clinton from all the way back till now, yes, there's been a whole lot of mistakes, but somebody who's been fighting for so many years is going to make mistakes. But the mistakes, she's learned them, she's admitted that they're wrong, although she's lied about it, she admitted she's wrong, and she's moved on, and that's why she's the most accomplished person.
No, I think she'll be a continuation of the Obama years. In fact, in many of these policies, she'll double down. She probably wants to go even further on Obamacare, the single-payer system. She's moved consistently to the left over the last 12 years, including in this primary. So I think we'll have to fight harder than we're even now having to do, because I think she'll take all that Obama's done and actually try not just to extend it, but to
describe Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's foreign policy.
I would say that it's, if you want a third term of Barack Obama's, you're going to get it.
See, you heard it from the Republicans. Even they think that Hillary Clinton is a third term of Barack Obama. So if you liked what he did, such as pushing healthcare, keeping us out of pointless wars and recovering the economy, then you're going to like what she does, because she is a lot more left and a lot more focused than he is in a lot of areas. So let's all be honest, Obama doesn't get nearly the amount of credit for turning this country around after George Bush wrecked it to the ground and screwed over our economy. Let's just keep that out there. Clinton's policies are very similar to Obama's, and they have very similar governing style. She will expand on Obama's accomplishments by pushing immigration reform, focus on climate change, fixing Obamacare, and if you liked Obama for 8 years, chances are when she gets in office, you will like her too. They are both pragmatic progressives. There are still some moderates and independents who think that Clinton is just bought out like the big companies. But Trump has been bought out too for a long time, and he's been part of the system also. And Obama has gotten a lot of money from banks and other companies too, but they still put it on the banks, and they still fought for the consumers and the people. The fact of the matter is, Bernie Sanders, the king of progressives, and Elizabeth Warren, also the queen of progressive, have both backed Clinton, have called her to go and push for the future of progressives in America and help build the middle class. Clinton is in her own league when it comes to foreign policy. Her experience as a senator and as a Secretary of State gave her an invaluable experience on how to work with world leaders, including Putin, leaders in Saudi Arabia, leaders in Japan and China, and other key players on a global stage. Her outreach to Burma helped balance the unwavering support for human rights with the promise of keeping democracy in place in that country for decades to come. Now the leaders of that country have the opportunity to vote and choose their leader. She also rejuvenated U.S. engagement in the Middle East by brokering a ceasefire between different countries. She's just done so much regarding foreign policy, and has so much knowledge regarding foreign policy that even Bernie Sanders had a difficult time standing up to her. And even Barack Obama back in 2008 had a very difficult time competing with her regarding China and how to deal with different players in Europe and Latin America. That's why she's a global foreign policy expert, and it will help out the U.S. a lot in building relationships and ensuring that our enemies stay contained and don't cause problems. Whether you are dumb and in the dark and think climate change is some big conspiracy theory by the Chinese, climate change is real. Extreme weather events, record temperatures, retreating glaciers, and rising sea levels all point to the fact that climate change is happening now and at rates much faster than previous thought. Trump doesn't even think that climate change is real. He thinks it's a theory, and neither do most of his buddies. And a lot of the people on the Republican side don't even think that either. But Clinton is aware of climate change, and she has a solid plan to fight against it. She said that she will implement a $60 billion clean energy challenge fund, invest in clean energy infrastructure, innovation, manufacturing, and also the workforce. All these things are critical in fighting climate change, along with working with global players such as China and Russia and Brazil and India to create more powerful and more significant climate change pacts. Now, if we put Donald Trump in office, or people that don't believe in global climate change, we're going to go backwards, and one day our kids, our grandkids are going to face significant issues. Go ahead and get into the final, most important, most shocking reason on why we should all at least consider voting for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump.
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat. I've been around for a long time, and it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. But if you go back, I mean, it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats.
Healthcare.
The liberal in healthcare, we have to take care of people that are sick.
Universal health coverage.
I love universal. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years. I live in New York, she lives in New York, and I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her. She's a really good person.
Hey, you heard it from Donald Trump's mouth. He has given lots of money to the Clintons to support their campaigns. He said Bill Clinton's a great guy. Hillary Clinton would be a great president. Not just a good president, a great president. And this wasn't said 30 or 40 years ago. This was just said a few years ago. I mean, look at the pictures of Trump now and back then. Literally the same. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was a pretty easy decision to make since Donald Trump is literally just bumbling around his dad's $200 million inheritance and can't even make any business go right. And sadly, Gary Johnson and Jill Stein seem to be pretty good candidates, but they're not going to get enough funding or support to even be big players, and voting on them would pretty much be throwing away a vote and losing one of our great candidates that we have for progressive values, and also just for a good business partner, really push American business, fight climate change, and also just be a good leader regarding foreign policy. If you liked this video, click like and subscribe for more videos like it. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Tell me why you think I should fuck off or screw off. Chances are I'll respond to you and we can have a great debate on YouTube. Let me know your top reasons why we should vote for Clinton, Trump, or Johnson, or Jill Stein. Once again, I greatly appreciate everyone's support. This would not be possible without you guys. I wish you all have a great day.